until we have a common appreciation of the South Africa you find yourself in, but also the challenges that we're faced with, whether perceived or real, that becomes very important. We are a movement that represents the aspirations of the people of South Africa. And therefore, item 4 and 5 becomes the most important ones that must then help us to shape what we seek to do moving forward, working together. Item 6 cannot be overemphasized. It cannot be overemphasized because that item 6 is that creates tensions and discomfort and all of us being at pains to make everybody appreciate why we want to establish a relationship and why we continue to have this bilateral that Comrade Alvin Botha said. And finally, the thing that is important is what he raised about diplomatic relations. One of the things that we are working hard on as the ANC is to ensure that any diplomatic relations and trade relations must first be for the good of South Africans first, pursuing national interests and ensuring that it yields a transfer of skills, it yields economic opportunities for our own South Africans. Thirdly, it helps to grow our economy. And therefore, the beneficiaries immediately would be our young people, because it's about their future. It would be about the vulnerable groups, women and children, who are also our strategic priority. And finally, it will be for the good of Africa. And hence, all of us must see ourselves as contributing towards a better Africa. We can't be abstract in our discussions, and our view is that our discussions must also be programmatic and help to deal with the real rather than the ideal. The real is what we should all find each other and work together on, using your capacity, using the skills, using what you have in your community to complement South Africa, and ourselves also learning from yourselves on the best practices around development and empowerment. But we must also deal with the elephant in the room, which has to do with high levels of mistrust and also a lot of pressure in terms of the security of our country, but also your own security, because of the perceptions and the realities. So that's how we would want to have this engagement today, and then from there we'll then come with the way forward that then identifies what needs to be done, informed by the issues around social relations, trade relations, youth and skills development, and then from there agree on how we're going to process all that. But before I afford the leader of the delegation, I'm going to invite Comrade Elvin, then I will also invite our elder, and then we will invite you then to make your submission, then we can all engage. I'm sure you can't all want to speak. Except the two ladies. Welcome, ma'am. Yes. Except the two ladies. They are now two.
Sum total of our relationship with Nigerians is that we are proponents of one Africa. We are proponents of a prosperous Africa. We want to be as prosperous and robust, and our economic fortunes in Johannesburg must be the same like Lagos, Dsg. It must be the same. Our business people in Nigeria must be able to prosper as well as your business people in South Africa. So we must be able to peacefully coexist but ensure that, as members of the African continent, we must be able to help each other when there's difficulties. We do that when there's difficulties with MTN and other countries, Vodacom in Nigeria. And we want, obviously, to ensure that our engagements today with APC becomes a force multiplier in that respect. I thought I must just foreground and supplement your contribution. Thanks, Comrade Dsg.
A lot of activities that are currently underway in the city of Johannesburg. And Dsg, this is a platform for us to get an indication of what the national leadership is saying, is giving us a guidance so that we can take forward some of the conversations that are going to emerge from this conversation, and will be able to then implement and execute, because we know that the leadership sitting here is the decision-making body which guides all its structures at the lower level. So we have no choice but to implement whatever that is going to be a conversation that comes out of this meeting. Thank you, Dsg.